Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Today, I just watched a streaming service original movie that is a romance story that has a lot of music heavily involved with it. And yeah, obviously, I am talking about the movie The Greatest Hits. I think it's really ironic that two streaming services just released really cool love stories that have music involved. But today, we're going to be talking about the Hulu original. Let's dive into this.
Modern Movie Review.
Alrighty, so right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and say the basic premise of the movie for people who do not know. This is a fun little drama, love story, romance thing that's going on with a character who got into a really bad car accident with their significant other, and now that the significant other is gone and they've had some serious brain trauma and they're going through a lot of emotional hardships, they find out that listening to specific songs can take them back in time to a specific memory that they have with their loved lost one. And I think that it does such a really interesting job of just kind of portraying how grief can really take you back and how music can do a good job of bringing you back to memories. And the fact that they use this as like an actual like plot element here, where she's actually time traveling back in time to these moments and she's being able to relive it and change some of the decisions she's made in these moments. I think it's really beautiful, and I really like everything that they do with the story here. And I was really pleasantly surprised with this film. So I'm going to issue a spoiler warning for people who haven't seen the movie. Basically, I, like a couple of other people, have watched this movie because David Cornsweet is in it, and he's going to be our future Superman, and I personally haven't seen him in anything yet, so I was like, you know what, he's in this movie, it's new, it just came out, let's go ahead and watch it. And I do want to go ahead and start off by saying, if you're planning on watching this movie specifically to see if David Cornsweet feels like Superman in it, he does not feel like Superman in this. But that being said, there are a couple of scenes where he's shirtless, and he definitely is rocking the body that Superman should have. So, I mean, if you're looking for a hot David Cornsweet, go for it. He's a very attractive man in this movie and in general. But that being said, to actually talk about the plot of the movie, this movie started off a little later on in the journey than I was expecting it to. From a lot of the trailers, I thought that we were actually going to like kind of watch this couple like meet each other, get to know each other, go through some of the like key moments in a relationship, like the first argument, the first this, the first that. Instead, we actually start off after he has already passed away, and we're here with the love interest, the female character. Can't remember the actual name. I believe it's Harriet. They call her Headphones, though, because she always walks around with headphones on. But this actress, I wrote down her name. I'm going to say it. Lucy Boyton. I'm going to say it twice because I had to watch a James Corden clip. Yeah, I willingly watched James Corden so I could learn how to pronounce her name. It was not great. But that being said, Lucy Boyton in this is absolutely fantastic. I think that she's incredibly charismatic. And this movie starts off with her in a really rough spot where she is going to like little therapy groups, and she's going to support groups and stuff like that, trying to grieve the loss of her boyfriend. Like I said, they got into a really bad accident. He passed away. And the way that they kind of show us the flashbacks of their relationship throughout this movie is very interesting. I really like the fact that they use music in such a way that is so meaningful and impactful. And on top of that, each of the song selections are incredibly different from one another. Like I feel like this score and this playlist and soundtrack was very hand selected and very well thought out. And I really, really appreciate it because this character is somebody who remixes music. She's somebody who's really into the music culture. She goes to raves, she goes to music festivals and stuff like that. And her playlist is very, very out there. It's not like necessarily a bunch of like regular pop music that you would hear. There are occasional older songs that are a little more well-known and a little more famous, but every single one of these songs feels eccentric and feels very different. Like somebody who is really deep into music would like these songs, and they all feel diverse, but also feel connected enough that it is believable that one person would listen to all these different kinds of music, which I really, really appreciated. I thought that that was a really cool touch. And the fact that there's a lot of stuff in this movie that takes place within vinyl shops and stuff like that, I feel like they do a really good job of hitting the nail with the hammer here with the character archetypes that they were going for here. Like I said, main character, she's a rave kind of girl. Music is a very, very important part of her life. And while she is going through this story and this journey, she listens to a lot of different songs, and we go back to a lot of different scenes with her and David Cornsweet, who is her ex-boyfriend who's passed away. And they have a lot of very cute moments. We see the moment where they first met at a rave, and they have a very like cute little back and forth. She's kind of the like, not necessarily like aggressive flirter. I don't know how to say it, but she's the kind of like playfully hateful kind of like flirting. That's what she does, where she's kind of like picks on you and makes fun of you and stuff like that. And I think that the actress portrays that really well. I think that she has great chemistry with all of the love interests in this movie. Yeah, spoiler alert, there is another love interest. We're going to get into it in a second. But I really like the fact that it does a good job of, with only showing us a couple of scenes where that relationship kind of met each other, still helping us feel the general vibe of what their relationship was. David Cornsweet's character played an aspiring musician who, according to the main character's best friend, wasn't that good. But the main character, Headphones, she was somebody who would she was the person who would produce the music, kind of create the sound background and stuff like that, and she would help make his music stand out a little bit more. And David Cornsweet's character, very go with the flow, very like whatever happens, happens. And he's also a very stubborn person, which I like the way that they showcase that very early on in the movie, because from all the trailers and stuff like that, it shows that like the main character is going to be going back in time to try to like change some of the events in the past. And every time she does, she can't get through to David Cornsweet's character because he's very, I'm going to do what I want to do. If this is my plan, this is what's going to happen, and nothing can stop me from doing it. And it makes it kind of feel very powerful in the sense that, like, if something in life is going to happen, it's meant to happen, basically. And I think that it does a really good job of kind of showcasing that, because a lot of times in sci-fi movies where they're dealing with time travel and stuff like that, every once in a while there will be, like, fixed points in time where, like, this event needs to happen. And it feels like their entire relationship felt like one of those fixed points where no matter what time she goes back to, she's going to have the same kind of interactions with her boyfriend, and they are both going to live essentially the exact same kind of life as long as they're still together in one relationship. And because they're a very young couple and David Cornsweet's character passes away very early on in their life, she's kind of like struggling to move on. She's still a young adult. She still has her whole future ahead of her. She's finding it very hard to like live her life. She was going to be potentially a very successful producer, and now that he's gone, she kind of lost that passion for music. She can't listen to music without time traveling back in time, and so now she's kind of changed her entire life around. She now has a dog that she doesn't really want. She works at a library job that she doesn't really like, and she's going to these support groups, and she doesn't feel like a normal person anymore until she meets, introducing David. This is a new character, a love interest. I can't remember the name of the actor who played him, but he was really good. I'm going to throw his name up on the screen. He was also absolutely fantastic in this. And I think that these two characters had a really, really great chemistry with each other. He also shows up at the support group. We find out that he just lost his parents and he's also grieving, and he doesn't know how to get over the fact that they're gone now. And I think that this movie has them starting to get into a relationship before they're both really ready for it. Them falling out of love and then back into love, and kind of like doing whatever they can to try to make each other work for each other is very beautiful. And I think that it does a really good job of trying to showcase a healthy relationship during a time where both people aren't really ready for a relationship and probably shouldn't be in a relationship. And I like it because the entire time they're having these back and forths and they're trying to date each other and they're going on dates and they're having these cute little moments, they both keep having these issues where their trauma over their past is kind of getting the best of them, and they're finding it really hard to move forward. And both characters have really big, impactful moments where they have to let go of something in the past to get to their future life where they get to be together again and they get to be in love. And it's a very, very beautiful movie. It's incredibly poetic. And I definitely think it is one of the best love movies I've seen in a really long time. I definitely think that this could be a classic. Personally, I will admit I am upset this is a streaming movie, because this is one that I would want in my DVD collection for sure. It's a fun movie, and like I said, it's definitely one that I could see myself rewatching around Valentine's Day if I'm ever in a lovey-dovey mood. Really beautiful story. A lot of people having to make sacrifices for the ones that they love. Definitely would recommend checking this out if you have Hulu. But that being said, it's now time for the Letterboxd section. That's right, I'm remembering to do it this time. But yeah, this one I thought was absolutely fantastic. I'm a complete sucker for movies that feature an amazing soundtrack and hot people, and 100% agree. I think that all of the leads for this are very attractive, and the two main ones for the majority of the movie are really, really great chemistry, and they're going through a lot, and the way that they kind of support each other is fantastic. And for this one, I just once again want to give a shout out to the amazing soundtrack, because I do think that the people who picked the songs for this movie had to have put a lot of time and effort into it. They were all fantastic. But that being said, if I had to give this movie a final score, I probably would give this movie a solid 84 out of 100. I think that they do so much things right here. Like I said, the main actress, Lucy Boyton, like I said, I had to listen to a James Corden interview to learn how to say her name. I wanted to say it multiple times, but then I couldn't remember it. The second I start recording, I forget everything that I ever think about ever. Knowing me, I'm gonna end this video and realize I forgot to mention some really important stuff. But overall, like I said, this movie was great. I had a lot of fun with it. I think that the casting is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, the main actress has really good chemistry with both of her two love interests in this movie. What's it called? The time travel elements are really, really cool. They do one of my favorite tropes in time travel movies, which is the person goes back in time and leaves like a hidden note somewhere where the other person can find it, and then they realize, oh my god, time travel actually does exist. That was a really cool scene. I loved everything about that. And overall, I just think that this was a really, really fun movie with a great soundtrack and attractive people falling in love. So if you're into that, you're into that. If you're not, you're not. But that being said, it's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching, and if you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow. Bow, bow.
Back at it again, but that's a relevant flow. So smooth, they calling me Mr. Elegant. Like an elephant, I got a long nose. Like a president, I've got a few hoes. Swift with a stutter, I'm smooth like butter. Don't see it coming when I slip undercover. Like a big dog, but I don't bite. I'm still a big broad, I'd win that fight. Come match you and I knock out your lights.